Good morning and welcome. This is Stephen C. And you are at Steve OC's on TikTok. It is Wednesday, June 4th, 2025, 11 a.m. Central Time. And this is our daily Course in Miracles review, where we review, study, and talk about the lesson of the day and also a corresponding portion of the text. I'm here every day, so we use the Course in Miracles as a framework and a launching pad for a discussion about our spirituality, waking up, coming to know who and what we really are. So again, welcome. If you miss the live, or if you would like to see some of the other material, some of the other lives that have been recorded, you can go to my YouTube channel. The link is in the bio. There are over 130 hours of these types of discussions, metaphysical discussions, spiritual subjects, esoteric, the occult, all of these ideas. If you are interested in it, if that's your jam, then this is the channel for you. This is the live for you. And please like the live, share the live, feel free to comment, and also follow this account. So thanks for being here. Let's begin. I like to start every live, every session by reading the introduction to the Course in Miracles in order to frame the discussion, center us, and as sort of an opening prayer. The introduction to the text says, this is a Course in Miracles. It is a required course. Only the time you take it is voluntary. Free will does not mean that you can establish the curriculum. It means only that you can elect what you want to take at a given time. Course does not aim at teaching the meaning of love, for that is beyond what can be taught. It does aim, however, at removing the blocks to the awareness of love's presence, which is your natural inheritance. The opposite of love is fear, but what is all-encompassing can have no opposite. This course can therefore be summed up very simply in this way. Nothing real can be threatened. Nothing unreal exists. Herein lies the peace of God. A very succinct and direct summary of what the Course in Miracles is all about. The Course posits the idea that our minds are split, that there is a portion of the mind which we call the ego, the egoic mind, the little self, the personality, the persona, the mask. There is a portion of the mind which believes and is experiencing itself as separate from its source, separate from the universe, separate from all that is. And of course, it is noted that this is an impossible situation. We cannot really separate ourselves from God. We cannot separate ourselves from the source. We have simply fallen asleep. We are dreaming. And the perception that we are separate, the perception that we are separate from the source, from all that is, from God, is simply a misperception. It is not a sin. It is not irrevocable. It is changeable. And so the Course in Miracles is presented and is designed as recourse to that problem that has been self-created, the illusion which we are operating under. There is recourse, there is a remedy, there is salvation, and it has already been accomplished. In truth, in reality, we are already awake in the mind of God. We have never left our source. And the way that this is explained, the way that this impossible situation is explained, the way that this unexplainable, the way that the unexplainable is explained is in that way that I have just outlined. This experience is an illusion. It is a dream. It is Maya. It is changeable. So we can change it in order to come closer and closer and closer to all that is closer to the source. We can undo the thought of duality in our own mind and in our own consciousness. And the Course in Miracles, the text, the workbook, and the manual for teachers is designed and is presented in order to help us do that. So every morning at 11 a.m., I am here, 11 a.m. Central Time. I am here reviewing the daily lesson. The workbook, the Course in Miracles, is set up to study and to practice one lesson per day. There are 365 lessons in the workbook. Today, Wednesday, June 4th, 2025, is the 155th day of the year. We are almost halfway through the year, believe it or not. And the lesson for the day says, I will step back and let her lead the way. I will step back and let the Holy Spirit lead the way. I am surrendered to the Holy Spirit. I am not in charge here. I have not created myself. I have simply made up a bunch of limiting and restrictive laws and rules which I live by, but which have produced or manufactured the situation that I find myself in, the world that I find myself in, a world of death, destruction, war, conflict, illness, disease, poverty. Okay, it is not all bad. Of course, it is also a world of beauty, sometimes peace, sometimes harmony. Okay, there is generosity, there is forgiveness, so it is a mixed situation. We have eaten of the fruit of the tree of knowledge of good and evil. It is perceived as a duality, and the Course in Miracles says reality, the real world, is non-dual. Our consciousness is non-dual. It is a consciousness of oneness, consciousness of clarity, perfection, peace, and harmony. So we are learning the Course in Miracles, the universal curriculum, is presented in order for us to reclaim our true place in the mind of God, to remember who and what we really are. So I will step back and let the Holy Spirit lead the way. I will let the Holy Spirit be the bridge back to the source of my being, the source of my awareness, the source of my life. And so this lesson says there is a way of living in the world that is not here, although it seems to be. You do not change appearance, though you smile more frequently. Your forehead is serene, your eyes are quiet, And the ones who walk the world as you do recognize their own. Yet those who have not yet perceived the way will recognize you also and believe that you are like them as you were before. It is a world of perception. And there is a way of living in the world that is not here, although it seems to be. So I can change my mind, I can change my perception, I can change my consciousness. And if you know, you know, this paragraph is saying. If you don't know, you'll just see me in the same way as you see everything else. It continues, the world is an illusion. Those who choose to come to it are seeking for a place where they can be illusions and avoid their own reality. Yet when they find their own reality is even here, then they step back and let it lead the way. Reality takes care of itself. Reality takes care of those in tune with it, aligned with it, vibrating with it. I need do nothing, the Course says. Doing things is associated with the body. The body follows the mind. The mind is the source of all prosperity, wellness, well-being, goodness, happiness. So the mind is the source of every good thing. When you find your own reality is even here, then you will step back and let it lead the way. What other choice is really there to make? To let illusions walk ahead of truth is madness. But to let illusions sink behind the truth and let the truth stand forth as what it is merely sanity. Okay, but to let illusions sink behind the truth, get thee behind me, Satan, is another way of saying that. Turn the other cheek is another way of saying that. So to let illusion, to let misperception sink behind the truth and let the truth stand forth as what it is, allow it to not interfere, to not get in front of it, to not be impatient, is merely sanity. This is the simple choice we make today. The mad illusion will remain a while in evidence for those to look upon who choose to come and have not yet rejoiced to find they were mistaken in their choice. They cannot learn directly from the truth because they have denied that it is so. So they need a teacher who perceives their madness, but who still can look beyond illusion to the simple truth in them. And here, the word teacher and the word who is capitalized and indicates the Holy Spirit. And so they need a teacher, the Holy Spirit, who perceives their madness, but who still can look beyond illusion to the simple truth in them. If truth demanded they give up the world, it would appear to them as if it asked the sacrifice of something that is real. This is a key concept in the Course in Miracles, discussed throughout the entire text. If I think I'm giving something up that is real, I believe I will have sacrificed something that is meaningful to me. I will suffer loss. And the Course says this is a misperception. This is an illusion. I am sacrificing nothing. If I sacrifice an illusion, I am sacrificing nothing. So it says, if truth demanded they give up the world, it would appear to them as if they asked the sacrifice of something that is real. Many have chosen to renounce the world while still believing its reality. and they have suffered from a sense of loss and have not been released accordingly. Others have chosen nothing but the world, and they have suffered from a sense of loss still deeper, which they did not understand. So a couple of choices or perceptions there that we generally believe are the options: giving up the world, sacrificing the world, and suffering loss of reality, or plunging deeply into the world itself, becoming reductionist, materialist, becoming fully a materialist, denying the existence of something greater than the self, something greater than myself, a source of creation greater than myself, denying that completely, and suffering an even greater loss, not understanding why. Between these paths, it says, there is another road that leads away from loss of every kind. For sacrifice and deprivation, both are quickly left behind. This is the way appointed for you now. You walk this path as others walk, nor do you seem to be distinct from them, although you are indeed. Thus can you serve them while you serve yourself, and set their footsteps on the way that God has opened up to you and them through you. So the path of the Bodhisattva, path of awakening, and then sharing the awakening. This is the way pointed for you now. If you're hearing this, if you're listening to this, if you've been to this live before or this YouTube rebroadcast, if this resonates for you, then you are on the path of the Bodhisattva. You are serving yourself while you serve others. Illusion still appears to cling to you. Text continues, the workbook lesson continues. Illusion still appears to cling to you that you may reach them, yet it has stepped back, and it is not illusion that they hear you speak of, nor illusion that you bring their eyes to look on and their minds to grasp, nor can the truth which walks ahead of you speak to them through illusions. For the road leads past illusion now, while on the way you call to them that they may follow you. So we journey together, we embark on the way together back to the source. A unified consciousness, oneness, implies everyone and everything being saved. All roads will lead to this one in the end. For sacrifice and deprivation are paths that lead nowhere, choices for defeat and aims that will remain impossible, which is the formula of the egoic mind, which is the formula, which is the foundational belief of the separate self. Seek, but do not find. Choices for defeat and aims that will remain impossible of success. All this steps back, fades away, disappears as truth comes forth in you to lead your brothers from the ways of death and set them on the way to happiness. Their suffering is but an illusion, yet they need a guide to lead them out of it, for they mistake illusion for the truth. Such is salvation's call and nothing more. So it's a course in miracles. It's a universal curriculum. We do need to learn. We need to become humble. We cannot believe of ourselves that we know it all, that we have it all figured out. But we begin to learn. We begin to share what we have learned simply by being who we are, by being authentic, by simply radiating the truth, holding a vibration, speaking or demonstrating when requested by the Holy Spirit, guided by the Holy Spirit. That is salvation's call and nothing more. It asks that you accept the truth, let it go before you, lighting up the path of ransom from illusion. It is not a ransom with a price. There is no cost, but only gain. Illusions can but seem to hold in chains the Holy Son of God. It is but from illusions he is saved. As they step back, he finds himself again. Walk safely now, yet carefully, because this path is new to you. And you may find that you are tempted still to walk ahead of the truth and let illusions be your guide. Your holy brothers have been given you to follow in your footsteps as you walk with certainty of purpose to the truth. It goes before you now. They may see something with which they can identify, something they understand to lead the way. When dreams are over, time has closed the door on all the things that pass, and miracles are purposeless. The Holy Son of God will make no more journeys. There will be no wish to be illusion rather than the truth. And we step forth toward this as we progress along the way that truth points out to us. This is our final journey, which we make for everyone. We must not lose our way, for as truth goes before us, so it goes before our brothers who will follow us. I will step back and let the Holy Spirit lead the way, for I would walk along the road to God. Okay, so I am not in charge. I have accepted within myself an orientation of surrender, an idea of openness, forgiveness, allowing acceptance of the truth, of happiness, of joy, of peace, of fulfillment, okay? Which doesn't mean I'm a doormat, which doesn't mean I'm weak. Au contraire, I am strong. It is the strength of God that is within me. It is the truth of God that is within me, that dispels all illusions, that dispels, dissolves, and undoes all false idols, all false thoughts, all false conclusions. So that is the lesson for the day. I will step back. I will be surrendered. I will allow creation to be what it is. It's being worked out. I am working it out for myself, and it is being worked out in front of me. And so I will allow creation to create. I will allow creation to be worked out within me, inside of me. And so to the text, chapter 18, section 6. This is a very interesting portion of the text. It's called Beyond the Body. Beyond the body, beyond the illusion. And listen to this first sentence, very important. You've heard it before. You all know it's true. First sentence, chapter 18, section 6, says there is nothing outside you. I'll say it again. There is nothing outside you. Everything is within you. Everything is within your consciousness, within your awareness. Everything. Nothing is outside you. That is what you must ultimately learn. For it is the realization that the kingdom of heaven is restored to you. For God created only this, and he did not depart from it nor leave it separate from himself. The kingdom of heaven is the dwelling place of the Son of God, who left not his Father and dwells not apart from him. Another important sentence here: heaven is not a place nor a condition. It is merely an awareness of perfect oneness and the knowledge that there is nothing else, nothing outside this oneness, and nothing else within. So, chapter 18, section 5, beyond the body. Within consciousness, maybe you could also title this chapter, if you're of the editor persuasion, beyond the body or within the consciousness. I am not a body. I am free, for I am still as God created me. So this first paragraph, chapter 18, section 5, at ACIM.org. If you don't have a copy of the Course in Miracles, if you don't have the text, you can find it online, complete, online. The text, the workbook, the manual for teachers, and the supplemental material, all online at the Foundation for Inner Peace, the publisher of Course in Miracles. No cost. ACIM.org. There is nothing outside of you. Heaven is not a place or a condition. It is merely an awareness of perfect oneness and the knowledge that there is nothing else but perfect oneness. Therefore, as you can imagine, as you can see, the world that we see through perception on the television, on the nightly news, on the cable news, it is not real. It is an illusion. Conflict is an illusion. It is not real. Oneness, peace, harmony. This is what is real. This is the real world. And so we dream. We are dreaming the dream. We are witnessing figures in a dream, as we read and discussed last week. We dream at night. We wake up in the morning and do not realize that we are still dreaming. We are part of a waking dream. And we need to awaken from the waking dream. We need to awaken again. So to get a sense of this, you can go watch the movie, Christopher Nolan movie Inception, Dreams Within Dreams, Inception, or practically any Christopher Nolan movie, to catch the idea that perceptions are deceptive, right? What's that other one? Oh man, it's a word that's forward and backwards. It's the same, which is the theme of the movie. So he rolls the movie forward and he rolls the movie backwards. That's an interesting Christopher Nolan movie. The title is eluding me at the moment, but in any case, let's continue with the text here. Second paragraph says, what could God give but knowledge of himself? What else is there to give? The belief that you could give and get something else, something outside of yourself, has cost you the awareness of heaven and of your identity. And you have done a stranger thing than you yet realize. You have displaced your guilt to your body from your mind. Yet a body cannot be guilty, for it can do nothing of itself. You who think you hate your body deceive yourself. You hate your mind, for guilt has entered into it, and it would remain separate from your brothers, which it cannot do. Minds are joined, bodies are not. And so, starting to get into the deep metaphysics here of the Course in Miracles, We think we are bodies, but bodies are simply a symbol, a picture, an image of the idea of separation. Bodies are symbols of an idea. Bodies are an idea, an expression of the idea of separation. In a body, I am separate from you. In consciousness, we share the same consciousness. We operate from the same field of consciousness, from the quantum field, if you will. Minds are joined, the Course says, bodies are not. Only by assigning to the mind the properties of the body does separation seem to be possible. And it is mind that seems to be fragmented and private and alone. It's guilt which keeps it separate. So first, the mind is guilty. The mind is guilty because of the belief in the separation, the belief that it has removed itself from God, from the mind of God. This guilt, this perception, is suppressed. It is hidden. It lives in the shadows. It lives in the darkness. The confession of the original sin that I think I have stripped myself away from God. I have torn myself away from God. This can only happen in a dream, the Course says. This can only happen as part of a hallucination. This can only happen to an insane mind. And it says, don't worry, fear not, however. The mind can be healed because this is only a dream. It's not true. It hasn't really happened. But the guilt, of course, is saying here, deep metaphysics, deep metaphysics. The guilt is projected onto the body and also projected onto other bodies. The guilt, self-hatred is projected. The self-hatred becomes hatred. Self-hatred becomes war. The self-hatred becomes illness of the body, weakness of the body. But it is, the source of it is in the mind. It is a mind that believes in weakness. It is a mind that must separate itself from the idea of weakness. It must undo the idea of weakness. Its guilt, which keeps it separate, is projected to the body, which suffers and dies because it is attacked to hold the separation in the mind. So we always attack ourselves first, is another postulate of the Course in Miracles. We always attack ourselves first. The body suffers and dies because it is attacked to hold the separation in the mind and let it not know its identity. If the body becomes sick, if the world looks like God is not a part of it, then I am correct. There is no God, right? I make myself correct. And we say, so be it. It is done unto you as you believe. If you believe there is no God, you will perceive there is no God, and you will see the world as it appears. It will appear before you as your beliefs render it. So the world is a mirror of consciousness. Again, we've all heard it. We all know it. How deeply can we let that notion sink in? How deeply will we allow ourselves to be confronted by that idea? It says mind. Now it says mind cannot attack, but it can make fantasies and direct the body to act them out. Yet it is never what the body does that seems to satisfy. Unless the mind believes the body is actually acting out its fantasies, it will attack the body by increasing the projection of its guilt upon it. In this, the mind is clearly delusional. It is the egoic mind. The ego, the separate self, is delusional. It cannot attack, but it maintains it can and uses what it does to hurt the body to prove it can. The mind cannot attack, but it can deceive itself. And this is all it does when it believes it has attacked the body. It can project its guilt, but it will not lose it through projection. In other words, the guilt will not be healed, the guilt will not be removed, which is the power of the miracle as the effect of the process of guilt being removed by the Holy Spirit, by a higher power, by power not my own, and thus the surrender, the idea of surrender. Though it can clearly misperceive the function of the body, though the mind can clearly misperceive the function of the body, it cannot change its function from what the Holy Spirit establishes it to be. The body was not made by love, yet love does not condemn it and can use it lovingly, respecting what the Son of God has made and using it to save him from illusions. Would you not have? So again, it's laying out the metaphysics of the Course in Miracles here. You're not really the body. You're misperceiving yourself. If you believe you're a body, you're a mind, you are consciousness, you are spirit experiencing itself as mind through the consciousness. You are not a body. You are guilty, way deep down inside, forgotten, not remembered. You are guilty because you think you have separated yourself from God. The guilt is not dispelled until I unify myself with God, which is non-dual consciousness, which is enlightenment, which is salvation or oneness. So here, the metaphysics, it continues. It says, would you not have the instruments of separation, the body, reinterpreted as means for salvation and used for purposes of love? Would you not welcome and support the shift from fantasies of vengeance to release from them? Your perception of the body can clearly be sick, but project not this upon the body, for your wish to make destructive what cannot destroy can have no real effect at all. The body can destroy nothing. Things that are seemingly destroyed within the dream, nothing is destroyed. It is a dream. It is an illusion. It is not reality. Nothing is destroyed. The mirage of the oasis in the middle of the desert does not provide water. It's an illusion. It's not there. Really, the body is not there. It is a misperception. For you wish to make destructive what cannot destroy. So I'm going to make the body destructive. I'm going to use the mind for destruction. I'm going to use the mind. I'm going to use science to make weapons of mass destruction. I'm going to use the body. I'm going to use the mind. I'm going to use the body for an army, for a navy. I'm going to use the mind for not diplomacy, but to make war, not to cooperate, but to steal. For your wish to make destructive what cannot destroy can have no real effect at all. And so around and around and around and around we go, right? On the wheel of eternal recurrence, karma, 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 karma. Round and round and round and round. Why? Because I refuse to recognize the truth that is within me. What God created is only what he would have it be, being his will. You cannot make his will destructive. You can make fantasies in which your will conflicts with his, but that is all. It is insane to use the body as the scapegoat for guilt, directing its attack and blaming it for what you wished it to do. It is impossible to act out fantasies, for it is still the fantasies you want, and they have nothing to do with what the body does. The body does not dream of them, and they but make it a liability where it could be an asset. So we can transform the body from a liability to an asset by transforming the mind, by giving up the fantasies of the mind, by healing the mind, surrendering, turning the mind over to the Holy Spirit, to a higher power. For fantasies have made your body your enemy, weak, vulnerable, and treacherous, worthy of the hate that you invest in it. And when it says your body, of course, it also means other bodies. Right, so the hate I invest in other bodies is also delusional, projecting my guilt onto other bodies, which is expressed as hate, conflict. You have done this to a thing that has no meaning, proclaiming it to be the dwelling place of God's Son and turning it against him. This is the host of God that you have made, and neither God nor his most holy Son can enter an abode that harbors hate, and where you have sown the seeds of vengeance, violence, and death. The thing you made to serve your guilt stands between you and other minds. The minds are joined, but you do not identify with them. You see yourself locked in a separate prison, removed, unreachable, incapable of reaching out, as incapable of reaching out as being reached. You hate this prison you have made and would destroy it, i.e., death. I will destroy it. But you would not escape from it, leaving it unharmed without your guilt upon it. So we fight ourselves against recognizing and realizing the truth. I can make the body an asset. I can use it as a communication device, as the Course sets out, to communicate lovingly, to spread peace, to share illumination and enlightenment, without accepting guilt, without accepting hate. It goes on to talk about turning within, going within. The body is outside of you, seems to surround you, shutting you off from others. It is not there. It talks about being transported, or a sense of being transported beyond yourself. So if you've ever gone to the Grand Canyon or seen a beautiful mountain or been in a beautiful meadow and forest, okay, you become transported beyond your little self. We become one with nature. We become one with what we are seeing, perceiving, and viewing. And that oneness, that going beyond the body, the Course in Miracles says, is your natural state of consciousness, is the state of consciousness that is normal, that is eternal. I don't experience it all the time because I am cutting myself off from it because of the nature of my thinking, because of my beliefs. Okay, there's many more paragraphs here, but it is time to wrap up today's live, this session. So once again, you can go to ACIM.org. Go to Chapter 18, Section 5, Beyond the Body. It talks about turning within. It doesn't say the word meditation per se. Course in Miracles talks about being still, silent, waiting. But to turn within and to meditate is an important part of the process that is implied and spoken about indirectly in the workbook, sometimes directly, many times indirectly. It asks us to pause throughout the day, and to think about the lesson of the day. But please go to the Course in Miracles yourself, check it out, see what it says. Use this live, use the YouTube channel, use all the information on the YouTube channel as a launching pad into yourself. Get in touch with the teacher, capital T, within you, the guru within you, the wisdom within you. Wisdom. Nothing that was said today is new information to you. You already know it. You're already built of it. It is you. We simply have to turn to it, focus on it, remember it, and then allow it to transform yourself and the world. This is the plan of salvation. Wake up, help others wake up. That is why we are here. So follow this account. Come back and join us daily at 11 a.m. Central Time. Go check out the YouTube channel. The link is in the bio. Thank you for the likes today. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for being here and hanging out. Peace and blessings. Love you. And I will talk to you soon. Talk to you tomorrow.